So when you see a Snoop Dogg and a Dr. Dre want to sample some of your stuff, how does that make you feel?
Well, you know, I like Alicia Keys. I like
Alicia Keys too, sir.
But different reasons.
Mine is for the wrong reasons, trust me.
But
if I could just have a baby by her, just have a kid together, and I just want to be known as the guy that's Alicia Keys' baby's father. They're really not together, but you know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I like Anthony Hamilton. Mary J. Blige.
Yes.
You know, but they're just doing it the way we did it. Music coming back now. Snoop is cool. He's cool. I like Dr. Dre.
Yes, sir.
But you know, we started.
That's right.
You know, a lot of people are aware. A lot of people are aware about the sampling and the many samples that have come off of just the Hot Buttered Soul record alone. But a lot of people are aware of that. A lot of people are not aware of all of the samples that have happened. For instance, like I actually had the honor of writing a couple of songs that were not hits at Stax. I did some sessions. Isaac was on the road touring, and I was handling the production and writing for Stax Records at the time. So I did a couple of songs on a group called The Emotions.
Right.
And it was a record called Blind Alley, which was not a big record for us at the time.
Right.
Many, many years later, here comes a record that was released on one artist by the name of Rex, in effect, called Rump Shaker. If you look at Rump Shaker, you're going to see the writer's D. Porter. That's me, because it's a sample from a song that I wrote.
Wow.
And the same, which was Blind Alley on The Emotions. In the same song, if you look at Mariah Carey's Dream Lover, and you see the co-writer D. Porter, that's because of the same song Dream Lover of Blind Alley that I wrote for that. And if you look at Above the Rim by Belle Biv DeVoe, if you look at that, you see the same song, Blind Alley, co-writer David Porter on the same song. Well, that one song has been sampled itself by at least 15 or 20 different artists.
Wow.
So it's just amazing how that happens, and you like for it to happen.
So that means the checks keep coming, right? Can I borrow $20? All right, listen, we're going to take some questions from, if you have a question, raise your hand if you would like to ask a question. We got 2 microphones. While we waiting, okay, go ahead. State your name and what church you're from.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we do that in the black church. First, giving honor to God.
I'm Rhiannon from Spirit Lake, Iowa. I do middays at KUOO. And of that sampling, how does that go when, I don't want to say steal, but when they do sample your writing or the music, how do you monetarily get paid then? Or do they have to ask your permission? Like, are they calling you on the phone?
Well, yeah, they have to contact you, and you have to work out an arrangement for the songs.
But at first, we didn't get paid.
Very early on, there was a lot of...
Jane Brown...
Well, there was a lot of that going on early on until the lawsuits start coming, and then people start really getting aware how they have to do it. For instance, I mean, before a song is released, it's wise on their part to try to establish a deal with you. For instance, there's another song that's Getting Jiggy With It. I'm also write a credit on that. If Will Smith, they sent me the lyric, which at the time it was called Jiggy on Them. It wasn't called Getting Jiggy With It.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then we negotiated the deal. I got the writer's share, and the record became a hit, and that's what it was. But actually, the song, if you listen to the song, it's out of a song that I did at Stax Records. Matter of fact, the na-na-na-na-na-na, that was kids from 926 East Macklemore who actually are saying that phrase, and that song, Getting Jiggy With It. That's not kids that were recorded at that particular time. That was 1973.
I think we should get together. I wrote a song, and I really want you to put music behind it.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, all right.
Let's work out the deal.
I write a lot of songs. I got a song called I Love Women with Hair on Their Stomach. Okay, we got...
Well, first of all, I'm Rebecca, United Methodist Church, Ralston, Nebraska. Thanks for being here.
Amen.
Great to have you here. And I guess you have such an amazing history. You've led such amazing lives. What I'm curious about now is, what are you excited about in your lives about today? What's going on in today that just gets you up in the morning and makes you say, yeah?
Well, Alicia Keys.
What song gets
Yeah,
you?
and you know what? It doesn't
Any
even-
song by Alicia Keys.
It doesn't even have to be a song. I mean, you guys have got amazing lives. You do all kinds of stuff. You go all kinds of places. Is there something that you're really into in your lives, personal or professional, that is really like floating your boat right now?
Well, you know, the one thing that's floating my boat is the fact that after the episodes that happened with Isaac, that Isaac is now touring and performing again, and his shows are just as dynamite as ever, and he's just so on it right now. And that's what's floating my boat.
I thank God for putting me through, and it was rough when I had the stroke, but I'm coming back, and I can tell anybody, don't eat no salt. Don't eat no salt.
That's right.
We've got time for just about one more question.
During that time of the 60s and the 70s when we grew up, the two greatest labels in the industry, but not only made African Americans proud, was Motown and Stax. You two gentlemen made a lot of those hits that came. When you sit back and think about all the things that happened and all the events, Sam and Dave in the studio, what are some of the most incredible times when you think back to the growing of those labels and Al Bell's that stands out and makes that one of the most incredible times in your life?
Well, we had a lot of fun at Stax, and we would work in the daytime sometimes, and eat chicken. Well, we eat chicken and to go around a low-run motel and eat some chicken and barbecue and all that stuff, and then we'd go back after dark and
In the studio and keep working. When we talk about it, as far as the fun thing, we were so into wanting to be competitive to what was going on at the other labels, Motown and others, until we just felt that it was a friendly competition, a friendly challenge, and it stimulated us to work hard to give quality to what we were doing, to take pride in being creative with what we were doing. It's very easy to say, hey, I'm going to take you in the bed and I'm going to blah, blah. But we wanted to find a creative way to say things that made people feel good about it, yet respectful enough to know that it had to take some intellect and some thought processes to come up with those kind of thoughts, to say it in such a way to make it something that I'd want to go out and spend a dollar for. And so Isaac and I took a great deal of pleasure in knowing that we had to push ourselves to come up with something that would have potentially lasting effect. At the time, we didn't know it would last. At the time, we were only trying to be as much quality as the greatness that was coming out of Motown and the greatness that was coming out of Kenny and Leon and the other guys, the greatness that was coming out of Barry Bacharach, Hal David, and those guys. We were trying to be sure that the quality of what we were doing was on par to that. And if by chance it lasted, it would be wonderful, but we only know that we was trying to do something that was good for the times that we lived, and if we could pass along some inspiration for people who were struggling and suffering at that time, we wanted to take opportunities to do that. We respected what was happening with the staple singers at that time, and there were many artists at Stax. We were trying to send the messages to encourage people as well as to make them feel good. And when we were able to do that, years later we found out that not only did it appeal and impact the African American community, but it impacted everybody, and that made us feel even better, because then we knew that the word soul, coming from the soul, was legit, because that was totally where we were coming from the get-go, from a soulful space. And know that soulfulness is universal was a great thrill for us, and then know that it's lasted this long and we're alive to see it is even better.
Yep.